Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for all the hard work that you're putting in all of these hearings. They're so very important, and I'd like to thank the Secretary for coming back. He's holding up well, and we're appreciative for the time that you're putting in. I want to ask about the products that are on the market, in the various markets. I don't quite understand why it is we don't talk about the elimination of certain products. We talk about regulation. Whatever product somebody can dream up, we say, okay, we'll regulate it. Why don't we talk about Alt-A? Why is Alt-A a good product? Why are credit default swaps good products? Is there such a thing as elimination of products or not allowing certain products to come on the market after careful scrutiny, rather than saying anything can come on the market and we'll regulate it?
Well, I think it's a very good question. I think that people will always innovate around what the government prohibits, and you will always be chasing the next thing that's designed to get around just that new piece of legislation designed to ban some particular product. So probably the more effective way to regulate, in some sense, is again to make sure the institutions are strong enough to survive a very bad storm, and that people are protected from predatory behavior. Because the predation can come in all sorts of forms. People will be endlessly innovative in how to take advantage of people if they think there's some gain to stake. So I think that you need to have clearer standards, regulated and enforced much more effectively across our country. Not allow people to come and get around those standards and offer people products that don't meet with those broad regulatory standards. But if you just do it by banning specific things, you'll always be chasing the next innovation.
Well, I'm not so sure that we shouldn't look at opportunities to give more scrutiny to products before they come on the market, and really disclose to consumers that this is maybe hazardous to your economic health. So let me go to the next one on asset management. I started out the other day talking about the 5 firms that are indicated in the plan. I am concerned about women-owned and minority-owned businesses. We're dumping a lot of money out into the economy, and we want everybody who has something to offer that's legitimate and competent to participate in all of this money that we're putting into the economy to create jobs and opportunities. Why can't we look at this a little bit closer and figure out how we can get more women and small firms and minority firms involved in this asset management, rather than having to go and knock on the doors and beg the 5?
We can look at it, and I commit to look at it more carefully and come talk to you and your staff about how best we can do that. Okay, all right.
One other thing that I'd like to ask about in terms of how the dollars are being put out there. FDIC has a guarantee program, and the banks are doing their own underwriting. Is that unusual, rather than putting that out there for the firms, all of the small firms, to get a crack at underwriting with this guarantee that comes from FDIC?
There's a lot I don't understand about how the FDIC operates, but I'd be happy to pass on that request to Chairwoman Baer and ask her to come back and walk you and your staff through their basic approaches in that area.
And lastly, let me just ask about credit default swaps. Why can't we just eliminate them?
We could, but I don't think it would help anything, and I think it would deprive people from the ability to do things that are probably going to make the system safer. What we're proposing to do is to bring them within a framework of oversight, to put them onto clearinghouses and exchanges, which will help contain the risk, help people manage their risk better, provide much more transparency and disclosure about those risks, and we think that will do a lot to make the system safer. I'm not sure this is worth going into, but if you just ban them, something else will develop like that. The better approach is try to bring them into a framework where the risks are better managed.
Well, Mr. Secretary, I wish that in the thinking that goes on about all of these markets, I wish that some deeper thought would go into not allowing some products to come on the market rather than talking about regulating everything. Because I think even though you talk about how creative people can be and how innovative, and they'll come with something else, it's better that you look at that than let something get out there that causes us a lot of pain that we haven't been able to control.